Why, hello, everybody. It's good to see everyone, and I hope everyone is having a good day. Now, before I get into the video, this topic will mainly be covering loneliness. So, if you struggle with that, or if this hits close to home, then I advise not to watch the video and watch something else on my channel. Before we get into this video, please hit like and subscribe as it helps me a lot. Now, let's get right into it, shall we? Now, when most people hear the word loneliness, they probably imagine someone sitting alone in a room with nobody to talk to. But loneliness is actually way more complicated than that. You can have hundreds of followers, dozens of group chats, and still feel disconnected. And over the last few years, loneliness has become such a bigger topic of discussion. In 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General released an advisory warning about the growing impact of loneliness and social isolation. Researchers, psychologists, and public health officials have all raised concerns about what happens when people feel increasingly disconnected from meaningful relationships. And this isn't just affecting one specific age group. You will see discussions about loneliness from teenagers, college students, working adults, and even from older generations. Now, despite living in the most connected period in human history, a lot of people feel surprisingly disconnected with each other. Now, when I say that, it sounds completely backwards. We have smartphones, social media, video calls, messaging apps, and we can talk to anybody on this planet. So why are so many people feeling the exact opposite? Why does it seem like connection is everywhere, but meaningful connections are harder to find? Now, personally, I feel like part of the answer might be how much modern life has moved online. Friendships are maintained through apps, dating apps often starts with swiping, communities exist in places like Discord, Reddit, and Quora. And for many people, the internet isn't just a place they visit anymore. It's where a huge portion of social life happens. Now, whenever a large number of people have a need, eventually someone builds a product to meet that need, which brings us to something very interesting. Because over the last decade, an entire ecosystem of platforms have grown around one thing: connection. And one of the biggest examples of that is dating apps. Now, a clear example is dating apps. And to be fair, the original idea is actually pretty simple. Millions of people look for a relationship, and dating apps make it easier to meet people you would never have crossed paths with otherwise. On paper, it's actually a good idea. Instead of relying on chance, you open the app and immediately start meeting new people. And I can kind of speak from experience because I did use dating apps at one point. But over time, some interesting shit started happening. A lot of users began talking less about finding relationships and more about how exhausting the entire process had become. Endless swiping, ghosting, matches that go nowhere, conversations disappear within a day, and people started calling it dating app fatigue. And if you ever use one of these apps, you have probably experienced at least some of these yourself. You swipe for a while, get a few matches, maybe nothing happens, so you keep swiping and then you keep swiping some more. Now, obviously, dating apps aren't trying to make people miserable, but remember, they are a business, and like any business, they make money when people continue using the product, such as premium subscriptions, boosts, extra visibility, more likes, more features, and the longer people stay engaged with the platform, the more opportunities there are to monetize that engagement. Now, that doesn't mean dating apps don't work. Plenty of people have met their partners through them, but it creates this interesting dynamic. The app wants you to find a connection, but the app benefits you when you keep coming back. Now, dating apps aren't just one example. This is much of a larger trend here because the internet isn't just selling products anymore. Increasingly, it's selling experiences such as attention, community, and sometimes the feeling of a connection itself. And I feel like this is more obvious than live streaming. Now, one of the most fascinating examples of this online is live streaming. Platforms like Twitch, YouTube Live, and Kick have completely changed the relationship between creators and audiences. Viewers aren't just watching content, they are interacting with it, can send messages, ask questions, donate, subscribe, and sometimes influence what happens on stream. And because of that, live streaming feels much more personal than traditional media. When you watch a movie, the actors don't know you exist. When you watch a live stream, there's always that chance a creator responds to your message. Maybe they read your comment, maybe they answer your question or say your name on stream. Even though those interactions are small, they are meaningful. Now, psychologists have a term for this. It's called a parasocial relationship. Basically, a one sided emotional connection which someone develops with a public figure, creator, celebrity, or personality. And despite how the internet talks about it, parasocial relationships aren't automatically unhealthy. Most people experience some version of it, whether it's a favorite YouTuber, streamer, actor, or podcast host. The difference is that modern platforms have made these relationships feel more interactive. A streamer can be live for 6 hours or sometimes longer, and viewers might spend more time watching a creator in a single week than that they spend to talking to some real people in their real lives. And once again, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but it creates a business model that is built around attention and connection. Subscriptions, donations, memberships, gifted subs, the stronger the connection feels, they are likely to support the creator. But it does show something interesting. People aren't always paying for entertainment. Sometimes they are paying to be seen, to feel included, to feel connected to a community. And if live streaming blurred the line between entertainment and connection, the next industry took that idea even further. If live streaming blurred the line between entertainment and connection, then platforms like OnlyFans pushed it even further. When talking about these platforms, the conversation usually focuses on the content, but that's only part of the story. Because what made these platforms so successful wasn't just the access to content, it was access to people. Now, let me explain. For the first time, creators could build businesses around direct interaction. Subscribers weren't just watching, they could send messages, receive responses, request personalized content, and that's when things get interesting. Because if the product was only the content, there are already endless places online where people can find content. What made these platforms different, though, was the feeling of direct attention. This feeling that someone was responding to you specifically. This isn't just unique to one platform. There's a pattern all over the internet. People join exclusive communities, sub to memberships, pay for direct access, support creators through donations, not because they want content, they want interaction too. And listen, that makes a lot of sense. Human beings are social creatures. They want connection, want attention, and to be understood. Nothing unusual about that. What is unusual is how many different ways the internet has found to package and sell those experiences. And for a long time, there was one major limitation. No matter how personalized an online interaction felt, there was always another human on the other side. A creator had limited time. A streamer couldn't talk to everyone. A message might never get answered. But then, AI entered the chat. Now, I already made a video about this, which I prefer you all watch, but I'll make this brief and short. Apps like Replica, Character.ai, Nomi, and Kindroid introduced something that would have sounded like science fiction years ago. A conversation that never ends, a companion available 24 hours, an AI that remembers you. But why do people use them? While it's easy to dismiss them as another weird internet thing, the reality is a bit more complicated. In a way, AI companions take ideas that already existed across the internet and push them to their logical extreme. Dating apps offer connection, live streams offer interactions, online communities offer belonging, AI companion offers all of those things at once. The key difference is, unlike a real person, an AI companion never gets tired, never logs off, never ignores you, doesn't take hours to respond, and for some users, that's appealing. The last few years, multiple news organizations have reported a strong, deep emotional connection to AI companions. Some users describe them as close friends, others as romantic partners, and when companies changed features or altered how the chatbots behaved, many users report genuine distress. That alone shows how real these connections can feel to the people experiencing them. Now, the big question is, if so many platforms are being built around human connections, what does that say about the world we live in? Let that question sink in your head. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. And as always, make sure to like or subscribe. And if you do both, you're automatically handsome and sexy. Anyways, stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.